Welcome to this week's Workshop Wednesday, where we're going to go through what's new for March 2024. Welcome. My name is Julie Brody. I am the Director of Measurement for MeasurementMarketing.io. I have been building actionable dashboards for a really long time. I actually started out in manufacturing, so we had to build dashboards for all kind of people that maybe some people that you never even saw, but we had to learn how to do that. Then eventually I became a measurement marketer, started teaching measurement marketing to people just like you, and myself and our team is still actually an account manager, and we still are what we call dedicated measurement management clients, where we still do all the measurement for them as well as we teach. So we still have a wide variety of skills. So if you have questions, we'd love to hear about them. We'd love to help you solve them because we all love a good puzzle to solve. And you might have seen myself along with our amazing instructor team back here in the Measurement Marketing Academy. We have courses, we have workshops, we have things where we call the measurement classroom, where you can ask questions to live where we're teaching, or ask instructor support, or winner circle. So we are back there. So if you have any questions, let us know. We'd love to help you if you're already back there, or if you're not already back there, stay to the very end and we'll show you how you can get access to that. And as we go through this particular workshop, we always like to remind you of the one thing. So we can throw a bunch of stuff going at you. It might be like trying to, drink from a fire hose, but try to get one thing that you can take and apply today, then come back, watch this workshop again, and get something else. So let's go ahead and get started. What's new for March 2024? And as we start, we always want to remember this thing right here. This, if you've never seen this before, there is an entire course for free for you, and a very recent workshop that you can also go through if you need to. But this is our measure marketing framework, where you go from marketing in the blind, where you don't know what's working and what is working, to being able to reliably grow those revenue and profits. So you go from chaos to order, which everyone wants that. And you go through what we call our steps: plan, build, and launch. And inside those steps, you're doing some very specific things, completely laid out for you, completely simple. You have to know what questions you want to ask, you need to ask, the information you need, and the actions you're going to take. So that keeps you from gathering things that you don't need to gather, and keeps you on the straight and narrow, so you can be very prepared for your build, where you go through your results, your traffic, and your story. And then in your launch, you go through listen, forecast, and optimize. And guess what? After that, you just rinse and repeat. As you're optimizing, you're going to have bigger and better questions, and you're going to continue to level up your measurement so much faster and so much easier than you've ever had before. If you want to dive deep into this, again, there's a very recent workshop that goes into this a little bit longer, but if you want the entire course, that's also available for you as well. So let's go ahead and talk about what's new for March 2024. And as always, we're going to start out with Google Analytics 4. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, with Google Analytics 4, there was something that was new that kind of came out. And I'm in here inside of our exploration reports just to kind of show you what happened. So they came through and said, hey, we're going to throw in some new UTM dimensions for you. And it seems like it's a little bit confusing, because now all of a sudden there's these manuals, and you've already saw, some other ones that had the word manual, but now there's some additional ones. I'm actually going to go into the actual doc right here. So this is what it's showing. Like, hey, now you have all of these things that you have access to. It might still be rolling out for you, because there's some other report that's saying, like, hey, go check out this manual report. And I'm going to show you real quick, just so this is the most current truth as of this recording, where it says go to view the manual. I don't have access to this in any one of our clients. So, and this is right here where it says, if you don't see the report, it may have been removed. So I don't know if they are pulling this back and saying just kidding, or if it's still rolling out. So that's why I'm showing you this. So if you come into these documents and be like, oh, here's an update. So as of this recording, that's why we do these what's news every single month, the first Wednesday of every month, so we can make sure we give you the most current truth. So we're not seeing that report, but this is why I just wanted to show you what it looks like, and then where you would expect to see that report is under this acquisition, is where it was saying you should see it. However, if you come into your traffic acquisition and you wanted to edit the report, so if you customize the report, you choose your dimensions and you add your dimension, this is where you can start typing in manual. It's not even there yet. And then you can type in, let's say you want session, blah, blah, blah. You can look for whatever it is that you're looking for. So that's nice that they have creative format there. And then what is the other one? Let's type in session campaign. So you have all these other ones that you want to be able to use here so you can customize your report. But as for this whole manual report thing, it's not there from every single account that we've ever looked at. So maybe it's still rolling out, but we will keep you posted and let you know. But this right here is a pro tip for you. So if you always hate changing this, I'm just going to give you a bonus tip. You can choose set as default and apply those changes. So as soon as I'm apply, and you can see it here. So now, if I were to save this every single time I'd open up this particular report, it would be that instead of the actual channel group, which we'll get to that one in just a second as well. So we're going to click on the back. I'm going to discard changes because I'm not going to change it because we use this for teaching and stuff. So if you didn't like constantly having this, you could go ahead and have that there. So something else that is also new in Google Analytics 4 that you can kind of keep a lookout for is inside of your regular home screen or kind of anywhere. You can look for your insights. It's easiest to find at the very bottom of your home screen, and you can now expand the insights, and they're going to have these trend lines and other things. So it seems like they're trying to get better at this more of this insight data. So this is obviously our teaching account, so we don't have very much data in here, but if you have a lot of data, you might have a lot more options and a little bit more things to play with your insights. So just kind of keep an eye on those. Again, this is, something that you might want to just be kind of take with a grain of salt, as we mentioned before. A lot of these insights could be not very useful because as it's gathering data and stuff, but some of them might be something you maybe didn't think of. So just kind of don't take action on it unless you're really sure that it's something you need to take action on. The other thing that is new, and we're going to come into our Measure Summit account, our sister brand, to show you this one, is inside of your advertising. This is a kind of a new section you might see. I'm actually going to go back to our different, this is our teaching account again, bumped back because I want to show you, you might see something like this if you're not linked to Google Ads. So our teaching account is not, but our Measure Summit is, and so you will see that it's trying to push all the advertising things into the advertising spot. So you can see all this. And just a pro tip too, as of this recording, which is March 6th, just yesterday, a colleague and I, Manisha and I, were both looking at the same client's information here inside the advertising. I was seeing data and she was not, and so like I could see that the client had data here and she was not seeing it. So it's still kind of rolling out. And there was no reason for it. So it was just, and even if she would refresh, she wasn't seeing anything, but it was there. So if you come in and you're not seeing any sort of data in these things, guess what? You could still go back to the report, the same thing you just saw under the, where you could go, in this particular case, we're going to go to acquisition and traffic acquisition, and you could still go through and see your traffic acquisition. This particular site is not getting hardly any traffic at all, because we usually don't launch that till June, July, August, so it doesn't have very much right now, so that's why I don't have any paid traffic, but all the advertising stuff is kind of getting shifted over here, so I expect it's going to continue to change and update throughout those. And as you see those little helpful docs, that you see those little helpful links, nope, I'm going to come back here, this, and you see all these little links where you can read more. I would absolutely go through and do it, and possibly even bookmark it and review it every week as it's constantly changing. So just be aware of that. And again, one client account might look a little bit different from another as it's rolling out the insights there. But again, you can still go get your insights from inside your reports as well. And same thing in your explorations is there. It's just trying to organize it and make it easier for those that are running ads to have one spot to go instead of having to dig through everything. The other update for Google Analytics 4 is inside of your, let's see here, your channel groups. I'm actually going to go to the testing just because I want to show you this in the testing one first. If you go to your channel groups, you have something now called a primary channel group, and then which is actually the default channel group, and we have default channel groups. Like, what in the world is going on? Well, if we come back to our reports and we come back and click on to that same acquisition, same thing here, you might have noticed this thing kind of session primary channel group, and then we have default channel group. Why in the world do we have that? Well, if you want to create more than one channel group, you can then set one as the primary, so it defaults to this one. So the default of this particular report that everyone would have is looking at the primary. So it actually bumped it down. So your primary is what's going to show up first. So back over to our Measure Summit brand. I've already actually created this. I went to a channel group. We have a test. I quite literally just went through here and named it test and saved it. There is no difference to it, but you can go through and, modify it, update, and do change things. Maybe you want certain things to be called, affiliate. You don't want to call it affiliate. You want to call it partner. Whatever it is you want to do, you can go ahead and change those things around. Or everything that is, CPC or whatever it is that you want to do, social is organic, those different types of rules. And then what you can do, you can click into the pencil, and then you could choose, this is the one, whichever one it is that you want to be your primary. And of course, as always, go and learn more, because again, these things can change from the time this is recorded to whenever you actually need to be able to use them. So let's go ahead and click out of this, and there we go. And so that's just one of those little tips that you can use to make using these reports a whole lot easier, because whatever it is you would have changed it to, now you would have that one because it's in default. So if I would have saved that and be in the same property, it would change it to, primary channel group of test. So that is your updates for Google Analytics 4. And something else that is kind of related to Google Analytics 4 that you just want to make sure that you're good with, and you might be seeing some kind of notifications with your data stream. We've actually already gone through and adjusted all of this, so we don't have any of these screaming notifications coming at us, but you might see something along the lines where your consent needs to be adjusted. So if you're not already, if you have these alerts and you haven't gone through that, then I'm highly encourage you to make sure you're inside of the winner circle. So if you're if you have the expanded coaching and support package, make sure you're part of the winner circle, because we are constantly posting updates there, and we're having the conversation there in the winner circle, which is an entire Slack channel, that Slack workspace technically, with lots of different channels to keep that conversation there. There's also, for those of you that have access to it, in your on-demand workshops, just a couple of weeks ago, we walked through the strategy for your consent mode. You can, if you have Tag Manager, it's pretty simple to just use a third-party tool. We happen to use CookieBot, but there's probably a dozen other options. Give it a couple of weeks, there'll probably be a couple dozen options to choose something like that. If you have some sort of platform like Shopify or some other tool like that, look and see if they have something for you that you can work with, and just kind of see what works best for you and your tech stack, because it really does depend on your tech stack with that. So you could obviously do it without Tag Manager as well. You just have to make sure that Tag Manager is listening to it and kind of work with that particular tool. So this is just the strategy, and then again the conversation about different tech stacks and getting around different obstacles and stuff, and watching all of the different changes that are happening every single day almost is happening in the winner circle. So this can definitely save you a lot of headache and heartache with that. So just kind of be aware of there. So there really isn't anything that we can All right, so what is new for Google Tag Manager? Technically nothing to say. We've already gone through all of those in the previous what's news. There wasn't anything for March that we have seen so far. However, just a quick reminder that when you're doing the consent, most likely you will be using Google Tag Manager if you have it. So just be aware of those things back there with Tag Manager and consent mode. Then what is going on with Ler Studios? So there's a couple of things going on with Ler Studio, and some of them that aren't even quite public yet. So just let's go back out of here. So when you want to kind of have like a tooltip, like meaning a little icon that says what's going on, like this little guy right here, what you can do is you come into your style, and then you can look through show field description is checked here. If I uncheck it, so those are your updates for March 2024. What was your one thing? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on all the things that are happening, as well as all those other workshops and stuff that you saw that go out every single week. And if you want to know more about the Measure Marketing Framework that you learned about at the very beginning of this course, you want to have access to other types of tools that we are already always putting out, the exclusive tools and always updating. That is part of our Measure Marketing Academy toolbox. This is the free membership, and it includes the course we just talked about, the Measurement Marketing Framework. And if you want to have more of the courses as well, and we talked about the Ask Instructor, the Classroom, the Winner Circle, and all those other things where the conversation is happening, that is the more paid version. That is the Measure Marketing Academy. And so you can see which option is best for you at measure.tips/getacademy. And that was what's new for March 2024. We will see you next time. Take care.